So you're just going to go through the questions, correct?
So hi, we're live, and I'm Lynn Dominic, and I am one of the founders of Body Soul Beauty. Body Soul Beauty is a new site that is going to be launching next week. And as part of our ongoing commitment to readers to give them and visitors the best possible information on beauty, health, and wellness, we're going to have a member spotlight where we're going to be featuring people who are doing some fabulous things in that space. And I am really excited to have as our very first member in the spotlight, Krysta Francoeur. And she is the founder of Wild Remedies, and she's going to tell you all about it. I have known her, actually met her on Facebook about a year ago. And since I am very much about health and wellness, was really, really interested in what she was doing. And we think that it's something you're going to find interesting too. So, Krysta, tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey and how you came to start Wild Remedies.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Lynn. I'm happy to be the first person that you're interviewing for your awesome
podcast. Trust me. I'm drinking what everybody will find out about in a minute.
Awesome. Chaga tea. Chaga. Yes. Everybody's going to know about Chaga soon.
Right? They call you Lady Chaga.
Yes. Well, I dubbed myself that, but it's starting to stick. So.
I'm Lady Chaga.
Awesome. So I guess, I've been an entrepreneur for quite a few years. My background is in design. So I've been a designer for 12 years now, and I've been designing everything from brands to packaging to websites to apps to everything. So I've kind of done the whole gamut of it. And I had an ad agency for 4.5 years in Canada, which is where I am right now. But I actually left for quite a few years and was living overseas. And I went through a really big health transformation. So I was sick for a long time, for many years. As long as I can remember, I suffered with a host of illnesses, a lot of physical stuff, and I also suffered with severe clinical depression. So I think it was in a situation that a lot of people find themselves these days where you're feeding yourself. I don't know, like we deal with a lot of stress, and there's a lot of information out there about what we should be eating. And I didn't have a lot of information about nutrition back then, so I was kind of eating whatever and eating my feelings in a sense, and also self-medicating with drugs and alcohol and all sorts of things because I was feeling so terrible. My energy was so low. I was 193 pounds at my heaviest, and I kind of hit rock bottom. So I was not feeling well one day watching Netflix, and I started watching some documentaries on nutrition. So there's like Food Matters is a really good one. I think Hungry for Change, Forks Over Knives, those were some of the ones that sort of shifted my paradigm on food. And, these documentaries really shed light on the food industry and how they're actually kind of programming people and putting stuff in food to purposely make us sick. Right. So there's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
It's so bothersome to even think that would happen. But we know, I think the more you hear about what's going on, the more you're ready to believe that actually can be happening.
Well, totally. And it's kind of I was feeling that proof, right? Like I was not well. And I kind of decided for the first time to change my eating habits for my own health and not just to look a certain way, because I had been on so many different diets that never worked. I ended up having to have surgery because I went on this crazy diet that my naturopath actually put me on. Ended up losing my gallbladder. I went on this diet called the HCG diet. Don't ever do this, people. Don't even if a natural practitioner tells you to do this diet, don't do it. You're basically eating 500 calories a day and getting injections with new hormones and taking an HCG. It's like a tincture, and it's a pregnancy hormone. So I ate 500 calories a day. I lost 20 pounds in a month, and then I ended up going to the hospital, and I had jaundice and had to have my gallbladder removed. So I tried all of this extreme stuff, which actually, damaged my body in a lot of ways. And I still have issues with my metabolism because of this. So I really have to watch what I eat and make sure that I am exercising and meditating and doing all these sorts of things in order for me to feel like a normal human being, because it's very easy for me to kind of get back, like start eating poorly again, have some pizza, whatever. I still like that stuff every once in a while. But if I do continue to eat like that, I really, really feel it. And I know what it's like to feel sick and lethargic and have all of those issues. And it's a terrible feeling. I don't ever want to go back there. And that's kind of what led me into natural wellness and creating Wild Remedies. Because I know there's so many people out there suffering. And health and wellness is becoming a big thing now. And it's awesome because people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. And
and I think what's happening is people are really being educated by other people who are younger, who are open to ideas about food affecting mood, about affecting a number of things, and how food can be medicine, or it can be poison, depending on what you're eating. And I think that long ago people never thought about that. That just wasn't something that entered into their minds, that, but now with the awareness of, GMOs and antibiotics that they pump into animals, and, huge tomatoes and things that just shouldn't be happening, they're taking a look at it. And then, like you were speaking out. So.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so we're actually in a really exciting time right now where people are starting to become more receptive to this this new shift in how we're feeding ourselves and treating our bodies, and it's really exciting. It's good to see. I know there's still a lot of work out there. So when you're in the industry and you're seeing it all the time, you kind of think like, oh well, people are getting it. Well, there's still a lot of people that don't get it. But I think it's starting to come along. So so I'm really excited to, start introducing the product that I'm currently selling now, like you're going to be selling, which is so exciting.
So tell us about what Wild Remedies is offering. I know that, I know about it. Obviously, I'm drinking it, but I have to be honest. Until we had that initial conversation, I had no idea what this was. And I'm a wellness person. I read a lot. Yes. So it's like, I never heard of this. So tell the world about chaga.
Okay. So I was in the same position as you. Like, I've been into health and wellness for quite a while. So I went through that big health transformation, lost a bunch of weight, moved to Malaysia. I was working for a marketing company called Mind Valley over there for a few years.
I know it. I know it.
Yeah. And then this chaga kind of fell on my lap. So I had another startup while working in Asia. I had a website called Sick Bubble with a few business partners where we were helping, trying to educate the population in Kuala Lumpur about health and sustainability, because that's such a big thing that needs to happen in Asia right now. But I went home to Canada one summer, and chaga was kind of put in front of me 3 times. So I had never heard of this stuff before. And for everybody watching, chaga is a medicinal tree mushroom. It grows on birch trees, and we have it in Canada and the northern regions of the planet. But the kind of chaga that I source is a wild version from Siberia. And chaga has been used traditionally for thousands of years by shamans. So it has the highest source of antioxidants on the planet, 4 gram, by far. So, people talk a lot about matcha because it's really good for antioxidants, all this sort of stuff. Chaga actually has 40 times more antioxidants than matcha.
That's amazing. 40 times more than matcha?
Yeah, so this stuff is crazy. Yeah, so like one serving, the stuff that I sell is a special extract. So it's a dual extract powder that instantly dissolves into hot water to make a tea. Or you can add it to smoothies. I do raw vegan desserts and stuff. If you go to the website, you'll see recipes and stuff for that. So it's a really, really easy to use product. Traditionally, what some people do, you can purchase the raw chaga chunks. So it kind of looks like birch or like a bark. It's not, the chaga mushroom isn't like a squishy, soft mushroom. It's a conch that grows on a tree. And so you can purchase it in chunks, but what you need to do is steep it for 8 to 12 hours to get the medicinal qualities out of it, which most people don't have time for. And a lot of the products out there are actually that. So a lot of people don't know that they're purchasing a product that actually needs to be steeped for a really long time. So they're just kind of like making it and not actually getting all of the good stuff out of it. So what's awesome about the extract is that it's an instant formula, and it's the most potent stuff that I've found. It has 57% chromogenic complex, which is the highest amount that I found out of all of the stuff that I've looked for. And my suppliers are really great. They've given me all the documentation and stuff on that, so I know it's really, really good quality stuff, and that was really important for me when I started selling it. So I started taking it because I still had high blood pressure. So even though I had lost a bunch of weight and stuff, I was still struggling with that. And I was like, oh, well, I'm going to try this stuff. I had heard about it and thought that this could be a really cool product. And I tried it, and within a month, my blood pressure was normal, which was really crazy because like I've tried a lot.
Amazing. And you weren't doing anything else?
No. It was just that. And I wasn't even drinking it every day. It was every couple of days. Yeah, so it's really good for balancing blood pressure, but it's mostly taken as a longevity tonic. So I do have some customers who have cancer and who are battling some serious illnesses, and they drink a lot of it. So there have been, especially in Russia, there have been a lot of clinical studies with chaga and cancer. I don't purport that it's.
I was going to. You can't say cancer cure because there's always a caveat, but there have been studies where it's helped.
There have been, and especially with different sorts or types of tumors. If you go to the website, I have some links to some sources, but of course you always want to do your own research.
Absolutely. I'm advocating this as a replacement for anything your doctor might recommend. I mean, I, as a cancer survivor, am always looking for things that can help supplement what I'm doing, what I did with my doctors. But
yeah, and so the reason I think that it is working for some people is because of all the antioxidants. It's a really huge immune system booster.
That's
so
great.
So even people who are going through something like chemo that are deciding to go that route, it's nice to have as a supplement to help boost your immune system. But there's also lots of other great things about it, that it can help some gastrointestinal issues as well as skin issues like eczema and psoriasis. People find that helps those issues as well. Yeah, so it's really interesting because it works so well as a coffee replacement. Like chaga is very, very black. It has melanin in it, which is what gives our eyes.
I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but without spilling it all over my MacBook.
It basically looks like coffee, so it's a very.
It looks like black coffee.
Yeah,
and
flavor is like
black coffee. I put extra cinnamon in this, and it's delicious. It really is really great taste. It is. And you say it also helps with cholesterol?
It can, yes. Yeah. So it balances a lot of things in the body. It's also, it's basic, so it helps reduce the acidity in your body as well. Some people like to put it in coffee, which helps balance out the acidity in the coffee as well. And it adds a little kick. There's no caffeine or anything in it, but I do have some customers that say that it does give them energy. I find it's more grounding for myself, but some people find that it gives them a nice little kick. So you'll have to kind of test it out for yourself. It does.
Gives me a
awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Cool, yeah. So I've just got the one flavor right now. So what I've done is I've created a luxury brand around this. So as a designer, I wanted to create a product that just kind of embodied the things that I love and wanted to create something really beautiful. So I kind of put my whole heart and soul into it. So there's a bit of a story with the illustration, the pattern that you see on the box. The illustration is actually based off of a Russian fairy tale. So because the product is sourced from Siberia, I'm creating a series of illustrations based off Russian fairy tales that will be going on all the different packaging. So I just have the one product for now, but hopefully I've got a few retailers on board now. Once I start selling a little bit more, I want to add my second product, which will be another chaga product. which will have it'll be a spicy cocoa with Himalayan sea salt and chili in there. So it'll be more of like,
that's great.
Yeah.
Everything has to have chilies in it, as far as I'm concerned.
A little bit of chocolate and some spice, and oh my God, it's so good. That's generally how I make it. So I'll take my chaga and I'll put it in with cocoa, and so I do cocoa, a little bit of shilajit, which has a smoky flavor to it, and it helps the body absorb nutrients, and it's also really great for fulvic acid. A little bit of Himalayan sea salt, some coconut milk, coconut oil, and I use xylitol as a sweetener. I love that. And I put my chaga in there and I blend it, and it gets really frothy and delicious, and it's like this creamy, yummy. It's kind of like bulletproof coffee, but like better, I think.
Certainly better for you. Not that bulletproof coffee is bad for you, but
if you can't do caffeine like myself, like I can't. If I
can't do caffeine either. No.
I'll have like a panic attack. Yeah. So that's kind of like my bulletproof coffee in the morning.
Right. Yes, I think, since chaga is relatively new, I didn't know about it, but now we're seeing a lot about it everywhere. Yeah. But all chagas are not created the same. So tell us why Wild Remedies is different, better, more unique, and what we need to, you talked about the bark but is there anything else we need to be aware of when we would just, say we Google chaga? What makes yours so much more unique based on the fact that it comes from Siberia, or that it goes through the different processes? And how can we be more aware of what we're buying, consuming?
Yeah, so there's lots of chaga products out there right now. Most of them will look kind of like medicinal. You'll get some tinctures and some pills, and you can purchase the raw chaga chunks. And there's a big variation in price as well. So the best quality product, the best bang for your buck is going to be a dual extracted chaga product. So this is it's an extract that is an instant formula, and it's very concentrated. So you only need a very, very small amount. So the tins that I saw are about this big, and there's 30 servings in there. And all you need is half a teaspoon, and sometimes even less, depending on how you like the strength of it. So that is the best quality to get. And it also needs to be wild sourced. So there are some companies producing chaga that is that they're growing themselves, that they're cultivating. And because it's still a new product, there's some back and forth on it. There are people who are saying, and my suppliers are one, that say that if it isn't grown wild, there's actually not a lot of benefit from the product itself. Yeah.
That was going to is it going to matter in not only in taste, but in the benefit it's going to be able to give you?
Yeah, like I haven't even tried any of the cultivated products because I'm just like, well, why? Like I've got all the best stuff. Like I know that I do because I really researched to make sure that I have a really, really good quality product. Yeah, and that's based off the chromogenic complex. So that's kind of just a term that is unique to chaga itself, that determines the antioxidants and all the polyphenols and all the good stuff, melanin and stuff that's in there. Some companies will also remove the black parts of the melanin of the chaga, which is also, you shouldn't do that. It should all be intact when they're creating that extract. So it should be a really black, dark extract. Mine looks a little bit less dark because I've added cinnamon to it, so it makes it a little bit not as black. But when I do get that raw ingredient itself, it's very, very dark. Yeah, so they're like the tinctures and stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out there, but I mean, the extract really is the best quality product out there. And also you need to look for where it comes from, right? So if it's from China, it's probably not the best product. The best stuff to get is going to be wild sourced from anywhere in Canada and Northern Europe and the Siberian, Russian region. So yeah, it's good to do your research, and you also want I would say that if you're somebody who's suffering with an illness and you want to be taking a lot of chaga, the extracts are more expensive, right? So for someone who's battling something, you're going to want to drink like 10 cups a day, right? Which is a lot, and that's going to get expensive if you're using an extract like I sell. I would recommend that you get those raw chaga chunks, which you can get for quite cheap, and put them in a crock pot and let those steep all day and make big batches of it and drink it like that. But for the everyday person who just wants a cup a day and something simple and a really good quality product, then you would want an extract like wild remedies.
And you're still going to get the benefits though from 1 cup a day, correct?
Oh, totally. Yeah. So a cup a day is, I mean, it's packed with antioxidants. It's the highest source on the planet, right? So it's going to be really great for your skin, good for anti-aging. A lot of people, you know, it helps me if I'm getting sick. It actually really helps. I found this is really interesting. It helps me with my jet lag. So because chaga has melanin in it, which helps nourish the pineal gland. It helps with jet lag, and that is that's a huge thing for me because I travel a lot. And the last trip that I took from, where was I? I guess I was coming back from Asia to North America. I was drinking chaga like the whole way, and I felt awesome. I never feel awesome when I'm traveling. It's usually a couple of weeks of like you know, it takes a while for me to regulate again. But I hit the ground running, which was crazy. So yeah, I mean, like you really have to kind of just try it for yourself. It affects people differently, but it's made a huge difference for me, and that's why I wanted to put it out there and have other people reap the benefits.
That's great. I went up on your website. Obviously, we want everybody to buy chaga from Body Soul Beauty, but you got to go see Krysta's website. It is so stunning. She really is an amazing designer. She really is. She just, her aesthetic is awesome. But I noticed that you had a lot of really fantastic recipes. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that, you know, I wanted to find out is when you put chaga in a recipe, say for a dessert, or those pancakes, that pancake recipe that you made, those gluten-free pancakes that sound just fantastic, does that dilute the potency of the product at all?
Yeah, so it depends on how much you're making, right? So like 1 serving of chaga is about half a teaspoon. And there is some flavor to it, and it is really dark, so you kind of want to choose more chocolatey, sort of, depending on like the look and stuff that you want to get with your dessert. So I do a lot of raw vegan stuff with it. When you're preparing chaga tea, you don't want to put it in boiling water, just hot. So when you boil it, you're going to kill some of those bioactive ingredients, which, you know, has all the good stuff in there. So I kind of stay away from cooking the chaga as well. So baking. So like with those pancakes, I actually put the chaga in the peanut butter coconut sauce that I drizzled on top. So I try to keep it away from a lot of heat to preserve all of the nutrients in it. But because it's just like a powder ingredient that mixes into anything really simply, easily, that's why it's so easy to make lots of delicious tonics. And, you know, if you're doing raw vegan stuff, you can put it in the crusts of like, you know, how you use like nuts and dates to kind of blend up and create a crust and then do like your vegan cheesecake or whatever on top. Like there's lots of creative ways that you can put it in there. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. I'm actually going to be posting a recipe. It's actually my boyfriend's recipe. He's really into health and wellness and stuff as well. He's got this amazing pudding recipe where he blends chia seeds, hemp hearts, cashews, coconut oil, and it creates like this crazy, amazing like pudding with this chocolatey thing. We put cocoa in it as well, and we put chaga in it. So now we've got these medicinal mushrooms and like this amazing pudding, and I just photographed it and made it super pretty, and I'm going to put it on Instagram next week.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, you know, I think one of the real misconceptions, and I think it really is something also that's going away, is the fact that food that is really good for you has to taste bad. But it really doesn't. I mean, what you're describing really sounds amazing and delicious. And I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it's really decadent. I mean, you have to watch it. So you can't just like go crazy and be eating like vegan desserts every day because it's still full of like, it's healthy fats. But if you overeat on that stuff, it's, you know, you'll pack on some pounds for sure. It's definitely a much better choice than purchasing anything that comes in a box, you know, because you're using whole foods and stuff. But it's, yeah, you should be eating that 3 meals a day for sure because it's super good. You're gonna want to like those.
I know. That it just sounds great. Well, I know you're launching the product online, but I think that does that make it more difficult for you to generate awareness of wild remedies specifically? And I know your distribution is going to include retail as well. So how do you see getting word out when you've got an primarily an e-commerce site? How do you get that awareness about wild remedies in particular?
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult. It's been a long road already, and I've tried a few things. I mean, most people with an online business, the first thing you consider doing is, advertising. So you've got your Facebook, your Google, your Bing. Pinterest is a really great resource, and I've dabbled in all of those. But what I've kind of recently decided to do and what I've been working on right now is I've hired a publicist, and we're going directly to the source to put the product in front of people on sites and basically places that align with the brand really, really well and that get a lot of traffic. So we're looking at some bigger websites like the Chalkboard Mag and Mind Body Green, those types of things, and getting creative with articles and stuff and working with them. So there should be some stuff coming up here soon, which is really exciting. And I think, because, I was a little trepidatious about doing traditional retail. I wanted to keep this an online business for the most sense, or for the most part. But I've got interest from some pretty big retailers that are just such a good brand fit that I'm like, I just kind of have to do it, Sometimes just putting a product into a store that just fits with your brand so well is just a great push because you're getting it in front of people, right? And then influencer marketing is a really great way to put that product out there. So I've started working with some bigger Instagram accounts and stuff, which it's all still new for me, and that's coming out here soon. So we'll kind of see how that works. But word of mouth is always kind of the best way to get your product out, right? Because there's people that you trust who are talking about how great your product is, and that's really kind of the best way to get it in front of people.
Yeah, I definitely think that. And you've got a specific story that you want to tell.
Yeah.
So I think that having people tell that story for you, people who then build that element of trust, that's the best way to do it.
And advertising and all that stuff is still super important. But when you're a startup and you don't have a whole lot of money to throw down the toilet, because I've financed all of this myself at this point, right? So it's like you have to be really careful. And I've thrown a few $1,000s down the toilet trying different advertising techniques.
I'm sure. I mean, we know just from our experience, and we're not even out there yet. It's very time consuming, very costly adventure. It's amazing.
Yep.
But it's definitely a high cost proposition.
It is.
So,
and you have to do it. I mean, even if you have to, it's just like small budgets and you're selling one product a day, whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be a lot. It's good because you're testing and stuff. But yeah, if you can sort of strategize to go after like more of like an influencer type campaign to get you started. I don't know, that's what I've recommended. That's what I've shifted to, and I'm finding it's a lot more exciting as well.
I'm sure. But one thing I want to ask as far as the influencer concerns, I look at those gorgeous Siberian pictures, the whole Russian, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm right in Dr. Zhivago here. But influencers don't necessarily share that aesthetic. Are you kind of very protective about how that image would be conveyed on their Instagram?
Yeah, that depends. I mean, there are some people who I'm working with who they have really big followers, like around 100,000 people, right? So they've already curated like really, really beautiful stuff, and like I kind of just trust them with that. Like, I'll send them a product, you go ahead and review it, photograph it, do whatever you want. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. And there's lots of stuff too that you don't really have control over, because you have customers and stuff that are also posting images and stuff of your product, and I think that's really awesome because that's kind of their view of the product, and it's getting it out there. So there's really no problem with that. But when it comes to brand and consistency, and if I'm going to be working with somebody who's going to be putting, advertising my product in a sense, then I would probably create images for that person to use, just so that there's brand and consistency there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what's your vision for the next 3 years for the brand?
Oh, wow. Well, there's a whole line of products that I want to develop. So I'm hoping for the end of the year, I want to get that spicy cocoa tonic out for sure. I think I'm going to call that the Firebird tonic. And I'm going to get a little bit more creative with the naming of things. And I've sort of solidified a lot of things with the brand in the past couple of months. So I'm kind of really seeing how I want to put that together. So yeah, there's a bunch of tonics and teas that I want to put out, and some food items eventually. But I also want to dabble in skincare and incense. So chaga, like the little chaga chunks, you can actually burn, and it's really great. Like if you're sick or something, like it really helps with your lungs. So yeah, so there's lots of cool ways that I want to with it. Yeah, it's a really, really amazing product. So
wow. That's just great. So as a partner, Best Since Body Soul Beauty is going to be carrying it. What can we do for you outside of just spreading the word and, getting this video out there to more people and having you on the blog? Anything in particular that's important?
I think really, yeah, it's just about getting it out there, having more people know about this amazing product, because I really feel like it's going to help a lot of people. And it's also just, it's building more awareness for health and wellness, and that's really what's important.
Yeah, that's great. Mm-hmm. So as a female entrepreneur, mm-hmm. what advice would you give to other female entrepreneurs out there?
Oh, man. Well, I guess it's pretty cliche, but, just the whole thing about not giving up, right? There's lots of times that you're going to think that this is too hard and that it's too much work and that it's this and that is that. Like, if it's something you're really passionate about and you are a true entrepreneur, like you're going to stick with it. But there's so many ups and downs. So it's really important to have a support system. And for me, that's always been, I've been really, really lucky with the network of people that I have. But I also make a really big point to grow that network. So, whether I'm asking for introductions through friends or just talking to as many people as I can about what I'm doing, and putting myself out there. Like I went to New York in December because I was a finalist for a food accelerator program as a startup. And like there's so many different things to explore and just try everything. Lots of stuff isn't going to work. Tons of stuff isn't going to work, but you kind of have to take everything as, like have a vision for what you want, visualize that every single day, super important. And just know that everything that is happening, whether it's like a positive or a negative thing, is what's supposed to happen, right? All of these things are lessons, and they're getting you to the point that you need to be. As long as you're really, you're very, very clear on that end goal and you're visualizing that every day, it will happen. And so you just kind of have to surrender and trust that, and then just do whatever's coming at you at that time. Just get it done and continue on.
So just before we sign off, how long has it been since the initial vision to now?
Well, I guess it's been a couple of years now. The first year was very kind of like just sort of testing. I was living in Malaysia at the time, working for Mind Valley, when I kind of started the project, and I had totally different packaging and stuff. I launched at Bali Spirit Festival when I was living over there, and it was great because I got feedback from people. I did taste testers and stuff, so I was like kind of getting a feel from people all over the world, not just a certain demographic, because there were people that came from all over. So that was really good feedback, and I was just, trying things. I didn't have a lot of money, and so I was just, just putting this thing together and just testing stuff. And then in November, so I guess 7 months ago, is when I got my new packaging put together. December, I was in New York, for the FoodX accelerator program. I didn't get into that, by the way, but I just went and checked it out, and it was awesome. I was a finalist out of like 600 companies, so that was really great feedback too. Yeah, and so that kind of got me into North America, and yeah, I guess since I've kind of been going hard on it, it's only been 7 months, I suppose.
Wow. That's amazing. You've made great strides.
It's in some days it doesn't feel like that, and that's for everything. That's what happens with everything. Yeah, but when you look back, it's like, holy crap! Like I actually accomplished quite a bit.
Yeah. No, you absolutely did.
Thank you.
Well, thanks so much. It's great talking to you.
You as well, as always, Lynn.
Big fan of chaga, and we'll probably have some recipes. I'll be asking you for recipes because that's one thing I think that is a great way for people to know about the brand, and the utility of the brand and the health benefits don't just extend to drinking it as long as you do it right. And I'm glad you took the time to explain that, and we will do that when we get the recipes in front of people. So thanks again.
Thank you.
I look forward to certainly the cocoa product, but we'll talk again before that time, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Lynn.
Oh, thank you. Have an awesome day up there in are you in Vancouver now, or?
Yeah, I'm living in Vancouver.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we know it's gorgeous up there. So enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thanks, Lynn.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.